with some Hoot Silver. I honestly don't know what I'm expecting to see. So many Silvers have different playstyles, but a lot of them just tend to play like very aggro. Yeah, Silver's gun just chunks. The guys can't really play the lane anymore.
I see the doorman.
Like 100 damage just like that. I would expect them to get an early tower. But the pressure that they got onto is it Arzo? Yeah, Arzo early. This enables them to just have free reign of this lane pretty much for the most part. And they're almost zoning them off the wave. Playing aggressively here just for the camp. Trying to contest them.
I see the Victor.
Nice.
I see the enemy.
Even though their trade was like somewhat bad, they still have the heal creep, so it should be relatively even in the end. And they'll just look to reapply the pressure after a bit.
Let's take out guy.
It's a good little kill. Guys overextended. They're always going to look to crash the wave before they do anything else. Okay, so just by slowing bullets, more gun damage. Yeah. So now that the doorman and the guys have the sustain they need to like withstand the pressure, they're just able to fight back. So right there, he cleverly doesn't push that because he knows the Geist has swap. The Geist is just going to swap him if he tries to engage any further, and he's just going to get himself killed by doing that. Yeah, see, like, now he bought, like, 2 health items, but I feel like he could have got these 2 earlier, and then played the lane a little bit more aggressively.
Take out the doorman.
Let's take out Vindicta. Let's take out Vindicta.
But maybe he didn't deem that he needed it before. Yeah. Okay, so the silver gets the big burst on the doorman. And then the Leg and Curse gets popped. Okay, so he just sees the opportunity to go in on the doorman. And I guess Tass underestimated how much damage Silver can do. And then dies to the tick damage from the bleed.
I see guys. I see the enemy.
I like what they're doing here. They're not scared. The tower, it's 8 minutes in. The tower's not that scary anymore. You do enough damage to just be able to take it from like half, even if you take it yourself. I do like this. The extra stam plus grit. Silver's a 2 stam, so having extra stamina is always good, and then the grit for the pop on the for the extra 200 HP is just really good. Grid saved his life there. It was a mistake. He literally looked for the punch, and that was like it. If he just continued shooting the Vindicta, he would have been able to get the kill. So he could have initially gotten the kill if he played it better,
Let's take out great talent.
but he just fully committed. So he turned a bad play, or his bad play, into a decent one, or into a 1-for-1, which is whatever. But yeah, so this is what happens. He immediately won his lane and immediately went over to another lane to help get the other Guardians. He's always trying to play around an objective of some sort, so he's utilizing Silver's early game power. I wouldn't be surprised if he's just looking to invade after taking this, the Guardian, and then I wouldn't be surprised if he looks over to the last Guardian and just plays around that. There's still another 2 minutes for Earn, so that's probably what he'll end up doing.
I see great talent.
I see Geist. I'll find my prey.
They took out Viscous.
I think this is a little bit of a mistake. I think he's looking to see who, or if he's able to save his Viscous. But at a certain point, I think that they should just be giving up on him to go look for something else on the other side of the map. Because I already brought like 3-4 people, and the Viscous can definitely combat. That was really good. So he used his 2 to flip the doorman away from his doorway and ended up securing the kill because of it. That was... But he's playing aggressive. He's constantly just trying to put any pressure as he can.
Our green walker is under attack.
And the moment he realizes it's not great, he just turns around.
Knocks no stress on cooldown. Ready to rip him in half.
Right now, it's a minute before. They're just looking to get the blue prio for the Urn. So that's why just Cosmetical's just sitting there chilling. And they're just going to shove out this blue lane, look for a fight or a pick of some sort, and then go grab the Urn.
I'll tangle him up.
And he's just fishing.
I see Vindicta.
As always. Because in his team comp, Hoot is playing somewhat of the pick role for his team. He looks to shove out the blue wave, and then looks to play for the Urn. So now he's giving himself the option to push the lane, which doesn't really happen anymore, but can, and then look to play for the fight at the Urn. But with Victor dying here, it doesn't help, and he's probably going to just chill. They're probably just going to play for the Urn deposit. The Hunter's Orbi is just really good for general AO, like, it's part of, like, the AoE slop group, where whenever they're in the radius, they just get fully, they get shredded, and plus they lose fire rate, which is just really good when they're just fighting on top of Urn.
Let's go to Broadway.
And plus he's going to be diving the carries a decent amount, so just having them do less to him is just, like, really good for him.
Headed to Greenwich.
Let's take out Shiv. I see the enemy.
And if no one helps the carries in those moments, then they just get shredded for extra, and
See Shiv.
he'll just be able to kill them a little bit faster.
Our green walker is under attack.
I see the enemy.
Let's take out
I see
Shiv.
that not throwing son of a bitch. Let's take out Vindicta.
Let's take out Shiv.
I see great.
Oh. They won the AoE Slot Fest.
Let's push green.
I have no idea what to say about that because there's just a lot of parrying going on. I'm pretty sure the mistake that happened is after there's a bunch of punches, teams just need to give up on the urn for a little bit and then play the fight. And I'm pretty sure that's what Loki W did. Is instead of just looking for more punches on the urn, they just played the fight, was able to get the kills while the enemy team was parried, trying to punch the urn, when they would have had time to take the fight and then punch it afterwards if they wanted.
Careful, Warden.
But yeah, you can see this. He used Silver's early game power in order to get all 3 Guardians. He was partaking in all 3 of them. He went from blue lane to yellow to green.
I see the doorman. Take out the doorman.
Okay, I have no idea if this is on purpose or not, but that is crazy. If this was, that is the craziest play of all time, because you just push the doorman onto the vent to get hyperlined. If that's on purpose, that is the craziest thing I've ever seen, and actually just genius. Too bad he dies, though. That would have been a clip. That was just a really good collapse from Abrahams, though. Hoot was looking for a pick, missed it. And then, well, but in the end, he did create a lot of space. So if you look at the map, all 5 people on Abrahams, or sorry, 5 of the 6 people on Abrahams are all on the around the bridge buff area. So now they can just 3-stack this Geist and just look for the kill on her. But this is also a mistake because they don't have the wave pushed. I would have recommended maybe Oakim putting like a Rem minion just to help push the wave in beforehand. Because of that, they don't get the tower here. And that's not, like... They could have capitalized way harder on the situation. But now, because I take too long with that, Abrahams is able to collapse, and now they're just going to look to play on the right side of the map. But yeah, as you see, Hoot immediately goes back to his home in blue lane and just starts pushing that out. This is one of the best rooms if you're ever playing like a pick character or frontliner. This room is almost never taken. And this essentially gives you the amount of money that a normal, like, this would give you the amount of souls of 2 sinners plus the amount of buffs of 1. So this room is really, really good. And it spawns every 3 minutes or so. He didn't fully finish it because he didn't know where everyone was around the map. So he was just kind of chilling, didn't want to show too much presence, just in case the enemy team was listening, and this way he was actually able to get out. But the moment his team comes in and helps him, he is able to take this room. Because you're kind of stranded here.
Where do you think you're going?
I see guys. Let's take out guys.
This is good map awareness and really good positioning by all the team. So he recognizes that the guys pushed the wave and was trying to get out. So he comes over to help get the kill. But the moment he enters the room and he anticipates the Geist swap, so he counterspells. And then Listic plays in front of him afterwards, so he tanks it for the silver. And because the Listic has the ultimate, he is okay with taking it. The guys probably could have killed someone if someone else on Loki W tanked the swap.
Walker is under attack.
Good job.
But the issue with this is now they don't have the wave up, so they can't really trade anything for this walker. So they just kind of get a kill and that's it. So this is a really good response from Abrahams. Wow, this is really greedy. But it makes a lot of sense. So, if you check the buys, Obakim has Upfire now. Hoot has Counterspell for this pit. Does anyone else have anything? No. But they have a lot of great contests. They have Viscous Ball, they have Victorult, they have Remult. Yeah, they're down. So, even though they're down, they killed their Geist, the main DPS, and they're just like, send it. We need to do something to kind of balance out this game now. This is a bit of a desperation play. But they're okay with doing this because the Geist is going to take a bit and they have Blue Prio. So if the Geist does respawn, it's going to take her some time to get and join the fight. But if they're all here, which they pretty much are, all 5 of them are here, but like cosmetical damage is a little irrelevant because he's a Mina. And they're not worried about the sideways at all because there's nothing really there. There's no walkers to really lose, and no one really cares about the Guardians too much. The Guardians can tank a little bit of damage. So they're just forcing this fight. And by melting this, they're able to create a 5v6. And they're just burning it. But he cleverly doesn't use, like, Hoot doesn't use the counterspell here. The Victor dies, and now they're all going to be stunned. So Hoot's probably going to jump on, parry. They're going to use the Remult. They're just going to unleash everything just to get all 3 rejuves. And now with the 3 rejuves, they can get the kills to trade back, and then use those kills to get the walkers. So yes, the enemy did get the kill, but they're using this mid boss to get the fight because the next fight is going to be disadvantageous for them. It's a comeback earn. They have, like, they don't want to lose the fight and then get the rejuve, like, they don't want the enemy team to get the rejuve after they win the earn fight because of this. So they play the mid, they play it to take the fight and have that fight as winning, because now it's, instead of it being a 6v6 when they're down, it's a 9v6 essentially because they have 3 lives. So they eliminate the mid off the map, and now with all those the trading that's going on, they're able to get the earn and essentially neutralize the game economically.
We must deliver the urn safely.
Good job.
So now with all of them dead, well, the guy's dead again, they can look to take this next fight at the urn and not have to worry about losing mid. Sure, the situation isn't that great, but now they have earn control. It's a comeback earn, I'm pretty sure. It didn't spawn on it, but they picked it up at neutral when it was a comeback. And now they're going to get a lot of money from pushing out the waves, and they have the resistances from the comeback earn for this fight.
Don't have time for non-lethal.
And I'm not too sure Abrahams is aware of it because it was spawning neutral.
Not ready to
So
trade
Abrahams
now.
might not know that they have the resistances for the fight. Yeah. As you can see, it is a comeback earn. This is not comeback earn difference, but they set it as a comeback earn. So now they will get the resistances. And they're okay with letting it reset. So now Abrahams should have an idea that it's set as a comeback earn.
Protect the urn runner.
They pick it up. They have their ultimates again for this fight. And they're just going to look to take the 6v6. And they don't have to worry about this lane either. There's no walker to really trade. So the only lane they really have to worry about is mid. So they're going to shove out mid, help Earn. Listic's the one carrying it because he's the tankiest, and he doesn't mind being low and dying on the Earn. A little bit of extra sustain, plus some solid damage. Just buying for tempo in this case.
See great talent.
Here we go.
I see the enemy. I see the enemy. I see the enemy.
I see the enemy.
That was also just really, really good and very well played by Hoot. He engages early, and he engaged on the Great Talon, Vindicta, and the Geist all at once, pretty much. So he dragged a lot of their attention away from the Urn, and this allowed his team to take a 5v3 on the Urn. So he essentially made himself as a distraction, and if they had to worry about him, because if they don't look at him, they're just gonna die like one by one. This silver hero is not balanced. But yeah, so they took that. So as you saw, Abrahams took that fight, and it was a comeback Urn. So now Loki W won that fight with the resistances and everything, and then now that they complete the Urn, and now they're going to be able to just grab the objectives off the map. So they're actually going to be up after all of this. They actually already are. And it's all stemmed from that one mid-boss play. So if they didn't take that mid-boss, Abrahams would have been able to take control of the Urn, maybe, and look for the deposit, or fight them after the Urn gets deposited, and then look towards mid, and then use that mid to just snowball the game. But now the inverse happens. Loki W took the mid-boss, removed it off the map, so now they can take this Urn fight safe, well, quote-unquote safely, and even if they do lose the Urn fight, they still get the Urn, and the only thing that they can really lose is their walker. So a play that was down 10k initially, they're now up 11k. So in a span of roughly 5 minutes, they just turned the game entirely. Berserker and return fire, just solid. Again, in that last fight, he was the main distraction. The return fire is going to make him be able to do that even more so. He's just able to run at people, and he has the threat of them doing damage back to them, as well as just being able to just run at them for fun. He can do pretty much whatever he wants. And if they look at him and do damage to him, they're just going to make him do more damage to them. So, like, everything he's building is a win-win for him. He gets looked at, he does more damage to them. He doesn't, cool. I'm not taking any damage. I can just kind of do damage to you for free.
Thank you for your aid.
Let's see who's I see the ghost.
Nice parry. And that's just huge. People don't realize this, but he got Doorman ulted, and then the Doorman was kind of trying to zone him away. But Doorman doesn't really do anything as long as you don't look at him. Like, once his ult is down, sure, he can do some damage. But if you just play away from him, he can't do anything. So he just completely ignores the Doorman, looks and helps his team, and he gets 2 kills out of it. And saves his teammate. So this is a common strategy. If someone's taking the urn pretty far away, because you have vision of them, you know where they are. So some teams will just force mid, which is what Abrahams are doing. And it's a bit of a desperation play similar to what happened earlier, but on the inverse side. But the difference is it's not a comeback urn. And plus, the mid-boss contest is a lot better for Loki W than it is for Abrahams. So Hoot immediately drops the urn and looks to come in. He doesn't mind coming late.
I see the goat.
I see the enemy.
I see great talent. Let's take out great talent.
Let's take out Shiv. I see the enemy.
But he immediately, Hoot immediately looked at the backline. And he's just picking them off one by one.
Good job.
And this is just pretty much GG's. One person's gonna go back, fix the waves, but they're just gonna take all the walkers. Like they're gonna grab one person's grabbing urn, one person's grabbing waves. Everyone else is just shoving the base with all of them down. The lead will escalate.
Let's push Brennan.
Let's push blue. Let's push blue.
What I have.
Let's push yellow.
Let's push York. Let's push York.
They back off because they just want to fight, and after pushing the base and getting one shrine, they don't have to worry about the waves anymore too much. So they're just gonna reset and buy, just because they just amounted a lot of money. Panic Strike is really good. They have double flyers, and then just disabling a Geist from shooting her gun as the main DPS will just be very helpful. It's also a little extra burst, but it's not really used for that. So with the last bit of reju, they're just looking to take the last walker. If they played it a little bit better, they probably could have looked to take more of their base, but it's fine. They just zone Abrahams off the walker. They're taking this. Abrahams doesn't want to die because any death is just going to lead to pretty much the game ending. So they're okay with just giving up a walker. But it's going to be a slow, painful loss. If they continue like this. They're just stalling for the Regis to go out, and then they're going to take a fight.
Let's push green.
Let's push Brennan.
So Loki W is playing it pretty safe, pretty far back.
I see Shiv.
Yep, the Regis ends. Abrahams looks to go in.
Let's take out Billy. I see Billy.
And then they just front to back this fight.
I see the enemy. I see the enemy.
Nice.
I see the door.
Disarms the Geist, pretty much makes it so she can't do anything after the swap.
I see the enemy.
Is able to just get the kill.
You're looking to survive. You came to the right place.
Fortitude for a little bit of extra HP. I would have liked it. I think this is a little bit of a mistake. They know they're going to be fighting here. I would have liked it if he bought like another 1600 item. Maybe for like tankiness, maybe like a Spirit Shielding or a Reactive Barrier or something. Just to give him some extra bit of tankiness and tempo for this fight. Especially since it's a game-deciding fight.
I see the enemy. I see Geist. Let's take out Geist.
I see Billy. Let's take out Billy. I see the enemy.
Good job.
I see the enemy.
Let's take out Shiv. I see Shiv.
I see that knife-throwing son of a bitch.
I want to say that's a bit of a mistake because he kind of just runs at them for fun. He takes a lot of damage. But he does slow them down and ends up getting the pick. And now they're all low. So he's slowing them down from running away. And it allowed his team to catch up and get the kills. But he definitely could have played that better to live. And with that, they're slowly just taking the base and losing the game. That's GG's.
Let's do this again sometime.
Yeah, he pretty much just used his early game, allowed them to get all the Guardians, open up the map, and then whenever he was fighting, he would always look towards the backline, and he built towards that as well, but the Phantom Strike and other things. So he was just playing very, very close to the backline, disabling their damage output with like slowing hacks, Hunter's Aura, Phantom Strike, all those items.